So if somebody wanted to come in and get CBD, like how could they just walk in and pick it up, or do they need anything? Do they need like a prescription from their doctor, or?
Okay, so CBD is legal in Ohio as long as it has less than, or hemp as we would call it, less than 0.3% THC.
So these right here are just CBD?
Correct.
So anybody could come and pick these up from you guys?
Correct.
Right.
Yes, and we have an area that we have set up where we can educate a little bit and kind of give them different cost comparisons, risk benefits, those types of things, and really make sure that we're applying the right type of CBD for what they're trying to treat.
Perfect.
Yeah. So what we've done is we've curated two different brands that we've gone to the trouble of making sure that they're good quality as well as clean.
Okay.
There was a recent article in the paper about some of the CBD products having trace metals and that type of thing, so we don't want that for any of our patients. So like going
to the gas station is not particularly the best products to buy CBD, or the grocery store. Like I teach natural plant-based medicines using essential oils. doTERRA is the brand that I partner with, and we do the same thing where we have tested purity factors where you don't want to get grocery grade oils because those, we don't know where those came from. You want the tested pure oils. So you guys go through the same process. You get a company that is tested for purity to make sure that you're getting what you actually are paying for.
Correct. And what we look at is what's called a certificate of analysis.
Okay.
And all our companies provide those, and it helps. It's another layer to make sure that what you're getting is clean and safe. And then also price points. We've really made an effort to find products that are at a price point that are affordable. So that's very helpful to patients because this is a sustainability issue, right? Yeah. If it costs too much, you can't do it for very long. Yeah, they're going to have to opt out. So
what are we talking, like what we have here? We got a couple, I guess I'm not really too keen on with this. What is it?
Okay,
so
this is a broad spectrum oil. This is 500 milligrams in a 30 ml bottle. So each ml would have 17 milligrams of CBD in it.
Okay.
And for most people, somewhere between 1 and 2 milligrams per 10 pounds of body weight is a pretty reasonable dose, depending on what you're treating.
And you help
could get away with less for certain things. Yeah, we talk about different applications.
Perfect.
But this would run around $50.
Okay.
Versus, now that's 500 milligrams, versus a 30 count in a pure isolate of CBD. It's in tablet form, which a lot of people like because they can take it kind of like a vitamin.
Okay.
You can split them so you can divide your doses.
So these are going to be a little bit more effective than the oil, or
well, they have different applications. Okay. So where we would use that is more so for pain and inflammation in patients that are already in the program. But we do have patients that use it exclusively without any cannabis and do very well with the pain component. The nice thing about that is it allows you to get your CBD addressed in one tablet form and then count on your registry for your other cannabis components to provide the other phytocannabinoids that you would
use them in combination.
Use them in combination because you're trying to bring that price of care down, and that's really what we're trying to do.
So how do these help with the immune response then, I guess?
Well, CBD is known to boost immune response. And
so people that are putting these into their daily daily regimen of different plant materials that they're taking, like if they're doing fruits and vegetables and different things, if they do a couple CBD pills or some CBD into their regular regimen, that can help boost their immune response and make it a more robust immune response.
Correct.
Nice.
That's what we're seeing more and more of that as we learn more about these medicines.
That's awesome. So it's a really nice regimen to add into your daily care for somebody who's looking to boost their immune response during these times.
Yes.
Nice. I love it.
Yep. Also to help with the anxiety, CBD is anxiolytic, which means it cuts anxiety, stress, and helps with sleep for a lot of folks.
So a lot of people that need the sleep, this can help them get the sleep that they need to help boost their immune system as well.
Correct.
Nice.
And the Recover that we have in the Mountain Made brand is also combined with Magnolia, which is sort of like a melatonin type response, and it'll help with sleep.
Yeah, we have a magnolia oil with doTERRA as well, and that helps with reducing stress, and we put it over the heart to help calm that stressful feeling down. Yeah. So that's a wonderful magnolia. It has a lot of amazing different responses with it.
Yeah, we're seeing those things.
So social distancing, let's talk about that. I know we have something up here. I know you're really excited to share that about social distancing.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So I'd like to just show a model of what that looks like and how that plays out. So when you talk about social distancing, this was a really great article by Harry Stevens in the Washington Post. And
now this was posted, it says March 14th.
Yes, this was when
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, this was when everybody was in a panic, and it was really just to help people understand just how important social distancing is in helping to stem the spread of something as contagious as COVID-19.
Okay.
So just to give you a look at, this is what it would look like without any kind of distancing or contact precautions. You get this huge exponential spike that just takes off. But then when you come down here, this is sort of just how it spread. One bumps into another. It's by contact.
So pretty much the brown thing that we're looking at are the sick people that are touching other people.
Yeah, so brown's sick. And the top one is with no recovery. This simulation is interesting because as people bump in, there's a period that's delayed between contacts, and then there's a recovery period, is what you're seeing with the purple dots.
Okay. And then the blue dots represent uninfected, like people that don't have it, that are just normally walking around.
Correct.
Okay. So then as we get down to
this is a town of 200 people, and this is just random spread, okay? It'll run out here, and then I'll be able to show you. It'll let me start it over, and it'll show you from the beginning what that looks like. But basically, it's showing you random how you get this peak, and that's the curve that everybody's talking about. The purple here
is slowing or lowering that curve. We're trying to.
Yeah. So this is a random. No social distancing, no precautions in a community, 200 people. Watch what happens.
And all the blue people are uninfected, and then the brown ones are the ones that are infected.
And then the purple are recovering.
Okay.
So as you see, as the curve moves along and you get outside that 14-day period, you start to get recovered individuals.
And this is if we just self-quarantined and did nothing
No,
else.
this is nothing.
This is doing nothing.
This is just out in the community. This is you didn't do anything, and you see that you get this...
spike.
Yes. Now this is only 200 people. Now if you put thousands in, it looks a lot more dramatic. Yeah. Correct. So then you take a look at what China did, which is quarantine.
Okay.
And so you got your infecteds over here on this side. But quarantining works for a period of time, and then it doesn't. It starts to take off.
So these are people that have been quarantined but come out too soon.
Well, no, it's just the nature of quarantining.
Okay.
Over a period of a few days, at some point it gets out.
Okay.
And once it gets out into the populace, then you start to get sort of that big peak.
So you're still going to get the curve even with quarantine.
But not as steep.
Not as steep, okay.
It's somewhat effective, not completely effective. Okay. So as we come down, well, you can see that it's kind of playing itself out here.
Yeah, it's not as big, but it's still a little bit of a peak.
Right. Now this is what it looks like when you have 1 in 4 people just kind of...
This is social distancing.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a quarter of the population continues to move around, while the other 3/4 adopt a strategy of social distancing. So this is really what we're shooting for. Yeah.
Okay.
And you notice here that the curve is just...
kind of, it's
smooth
not
and easy.
Too bad.
The reason for this being so important is not that you're going to stop people from getting it. People will still get it. It's that you're going to have the capacity in your hospitals to take care of the very sick patients.
Right.
What you don't want is this big, huge spike of really critically ill patients.
Because then you're going to overload the medical facilities, the medical care. By flattening the curve, you're keeping it to where they can relatively take care of everything.
Correct. And that's with a quarter of the people, and this is what happens when we just let 1 out of every 8 people move around.
Okay.
So with lockdown, like we're doing now,
this is keeping the curve very, very low.
Very flat. And that's really what Governor DeWine's shooting for in Ohio.
Okay.
And if you've seen any of the recent graphs they've been putting up, we're kind of getting this type of response, which is a good thing.
Nice.
Now, will we have a resurgence later? The average pandemic has roughly 3, where you will get some rise in cases. But again, if your system is more robust, meaning you've had time to repair, then you're going to be able to take care of those sick patients and potentially save their lives.
Nice.
And not put lives in danger, because there's so many sick patients that everybody's getting
And that's the most important thing right now.
That's the most
keeping
important
that curve down, boosting and keeping our immune systems at a robust position to help take care of and offset and recover on a faster scale.
That's correct.
Nice.
That's what we're shooting for. Keep everybody safe and healthy. That's the bottom line.
Definitely.
For instance, in our office, we take our temperature every day. Make sure.
Good.
We've moved to telemedicine. We're doing a lot of telemedicine.
And telemedicine is huge. It's a really amazing opportunity that people can actually do that.
Keep people in place, get them the services they need, and limit exposure. So we've gotten it in our office where we're trying to have no more than 1 patient in at a time, when possible. Everybody else gets moved around. We wipe everything down pre and post.
Using sanitizer.
Sanitizers.
Sanitizer.
Yeah.
Making sure everything.
Yeah, and cleaners that actually have virucide in them.
Okay.
So
it's keeping the viral load, viral content at a next to nothing. With the
that's the idea. Yeah. Just keep it next to nothing, and nobody comes in if they're sick. If you have a fever, you're not coming in.
Now, are you, so if you have people coming in not working here, are you taking their temperature before they come in, or are you meeting with people?
We've talked about that. One of the biggest problems that we have is the temperature device that we use is an oral temperature, and it has a sheath on it. So what we're asking them to do is please take their temp before they come in. The other thing is there was a run on thermometers. So you can't get a forehead thermometer right now. They're very difficult to get. So while we've looked at that, what we've asked them to do is take a temp before they come in.
Good. So just kind of being proactive.
Absolutely. And it's really about self-monitoring at the end of the day anyway.
Yeah.
And just doing what we can to do our part.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me and doing this. I'm so glad that we were able to do this today. If somebody wanted to get a hold of you,
330-754-4850 or advocareclinic.com. That's ADVOCARECLINIC.com.
Wonderful. I love it. So I will, at Essential Ways, we do carry your products. If somebody wants to get a hold of us, they can get a hold of me at Essential Ways or any of the partners there. If they want to come into AdvoCare Clinic, they can go online, go on Facebook, go wherever. We'll post all your information. That way they can come in. You do walk-ins. You can come in and get products, sit down. You have different specialists that can go over all the products with them.
Yes, we do.
Perfect.
Thank you for meeting with us today,
Yes, thank you.